All right, so out here in Red Hook at a mooring ball, got ready for Tropical Storm Ernesto to make landfall here in the Virgin Islands, and got everything prepped as best as I can. Got all the canvas down and secured nice and tight. All the sails up there, got everything furled up real good, tied up, and inside the mast as well. And last thing, to make sure that the anchor was set as a redundancy, some sort of way to secure me to the bottom should it break away. It's about, I don't know, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours from making landfall here in the Virgin Islands, and it's gonna be a wild ride. It's already starting to get some swells a little bit here. It's coming out of the northeast, so I'm pretty exposed here. But then once the eye passes, it'll clock back around from the south, coming that way, and I'll be very protected, at least from the swells. It's gonna get pretty windy. It's gonna get anywhere from about 35 to 40 mile an hour sustained winds, so maybe anywhere from 45, 50 mile an hour gusts at times. So it's gonna get a little interesting, but nonetheless, it's all part of the adventure and making sure that this vessel Blue Dream stays safe. The storm's gonna be coming out of here. You can kind of see the gray clouds and the start of the bands coming towards us right now. It's gonna be an interesting 36 hours. Gonna hold fast here, but I feel good about everything and just gonna hunker down.
As of the 11 a.m. advisory, Tropical Storm Ernesto has 50-mile-per-hour max sustained winds. Now it is coming very close to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Impacts are already starting to be felt as some of the outer rain bands are starting to reach Puerto Rico as we speak. We're talking about that strengthening. There have been hurricane watches that have been issued for the Virgin Islands. Puerto Rico not included in this hurricane watch, but they're also under a tropical storm warning, including some parts of the Lesser Antilles and the Virgin Islands. So we're expecting tropical storm conditions to arrive as early as tonight, lasting through tomorrow. Wind gusts as well could get as high as 75 miles per hour across Puerto Rico. So that's close to hurricane force winds over this area. So we're going to be watching that very closely. It could become a hurricane as it comes close to Puerto Rico tonight or maybe even early tomorrow morning.
As the storm moved its way close to St. Thomas, it was a mad rush to help get other boats to safe harbor. Lots of friends needed help docking at the marina in Red Hook, with the winds already having picked up around 18 to 20 knots. Once everyone was safely moored and docked for the night, it was time to head back and ride out the storm. All right, so it is now 5:08 in the evening as the sun's starting to go down right now. Still holding out for the main brunt of the storm to pass. Right now, the eye is starting to come over the Virgin Islands right now, and then will pass along to the northeast, bringing up the southern bands, which will be the most of the brunt of the winds and everything. But it's been overall pretty mellow. Got all the boats from Seabase all sorted. Got to help everybody get to where they needed to be and tied up. So everyone's kind of just hunkered down right now and just gonna make sure that their vessels are good. But yeah, the swells are coming in, as you can see probably out here. You may not be able to tell really because the camera doesn't really show it, but if you look over here even, like some of these boats are just rocking in the waves. This boat's pretty long though. It's 54 feet, so it's a little bit heavier, so it's a little bit less prone for the big swells, but still, it is pretty exposed out here, as you can see. And all the winds are coming from the northeast right here. We're kind of facing east, and northeast is right there. So we have this little piece of land right here that's kind of shielding me a little bit, but for the most part, it's just coming straight on the nose. And the wind actually just picked up a little bit, a nice little gust right here. You can also see on the horizon here, the British Virgin Islands is out there. Usually be able to see it right, on a good day, you'd be able to see it very clearly, but it's definitely covered by what looks to be rain. I'm just hanging out right now, making sure everything's good. Checking in every now and again on the mooring ball. Got 2 lines on there to make sure that, if one fails, got another one. Also, the anchor is down, attached to the snubber. So I have a lot of redundancies in play right now in case it gets really, really squirrely. So yeah, everything's good. Got the generator running over here to keep me all powered up, because once the rain comes, I'm gonna shutter it all down and just close up the hatches and just hunker down. So I gotta get as much power as I can. Got some neighbors along here. It's a little close. Hoping that everything's good with them, but we still are forward of them, so it's all good. Yeah, everything is looking pretty on track right now. I feel pretty good about everything, and we'll just see how this all happens. Ooh-wee. All right, well, the brunt seems to be starting to come this way. It is definitely gotten darker with the sun going down, but then also the dark clouds coming in. And all throughout here, you can see it's definitely picked up. The winds have definitely picked up in intensity. The rain is starting to come. The swells are starting to come in. It's still not too bad though, but it's definitely a lot more intense than what it was even just an hour ago. So Ernesto is here. Yeah, everything seems to be doing okay so far. Generator's off, so I'm gonna make some dinner and make some dinner to hang out. Also just found out that the National Hurricane Center just issued a hurricane watch for the Virgin Islands as Ernesto passes about northeast of us. It's going to start building in intensity as it goes past Puerto Rico, but the tail end is going to come up in intensity. So those wind speeds could increase a lot more, so it's going to be a little bit interesting. But once again, it's going to be clocking out of the south, so I should be pretty well protected here. It's just all the wind will be definitely an issue. So just monitoring it all and hoping for the best. Okay, so the storm has officially started clocking from the south. And now, woo-wee, oh boy, it is blowing super hard. It's probably gusting, blowing 50, maybe 50, 60 miles per hour. And I have to go check the mooring, make sure it's all good here. That's looking pretty good. These lines here are looking good. We're rocking, we're rolling. But yeah, it's looking, oh boy. It's really dark here, so you can't really see what's going on, but it is, whoo, we are blowing. Oh boy, gotta check these lines, make sure everything's good. All right, good, there's no chafe in the lines right now, so that's good. These are all holding up pretty good. Anchor's down, looking good. That's good. Oh boy, man, it is, whoo, it's windy. This is crazy. I'm gonna head back down inside. So back down here below. It's honestly hard to sleep right now. Just kind of worrying about everything. The boat is just rocking back and forth. Just totally getting blown around by the gusts and the wind and everything. So I just got the most recent update, and Ernesto has strengthened to a Category 1 hurricane as of now. It is, the wind is definitely intensified. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's howling right now. It's apparently supposed to get even more intense around 6 a.m. Tomorrow morning, and it's about midnight right now. This is my 4th named storm I've been in. However, probably the most intense. Oh boy, boat's making noises. Crazy. And the rain is just coming down. I'm getting hammered right now. All right, it's about almost 3 in the morning. Yeah, it's 3:30 right now in the morning. I came up to check the mooring lines to make sure that everything was all good, and I noticed that there was a little bit of chafing on one of the lines. And as you can see here, there is the white part exposed right along there. So it's from all the rubbing back and forth from it going from the boat, just moving back and forth. And I should have rigged that up a little bit better, but it's too late now. So all I could do is just add another line. So I added this line right here and just kind of tripled up everything. It's blowing pretty good right now. It's probably blowing anywhere from 50 to 70 knots. and it's not necessarily raining too hard, it's just super windy. I'm trying to just make sure that does not break. But adding onto it, I also let out the snubber line a little bit more, so it doesn't, and the anchor chain, so it doesn't basically prop up against the mooring lines there, because it's adding pressure on there. So the less amount of pressures, the better. But I do feel better overall about that. Just adding that extra line gives it a little bit more, gives me a little bit more peace of mind as we're rocking about here. But yeah, this is pretty wild. Got a little bit of sleep, but now I'm stressing out about that. So having one extra line really helps. But yeah, I'll feel a lot better once the sun comes up and I can actually see what's going on. All right, so it is finally morning, and it is about 8:45 in the morning right now, and just came outside. Still pretty stormy out here right now. The winds have died down pretty significantly, it seems, right now, but it keeps coming back. You can kind of see on the horizon here when the wind starts to come, and the rain too itself seems to be dying down a little bit. But for the most part, everything seems to have held pretty good. The dinghy is just absolutely filled with water. Pretty soon I got to do something about that before I don't want it to scuttle. So I've got to check the weather here soon and see what the latest reports are of when this is gonna start dying down. But I mean, all looking out through here, you can see at least all the other boats are still here, which is good. No one broke away from their moorings last night. There's a sailboat over there that did break away yesterday morning before the storm started coming, and that's really unfortunate. But yeah, for the most part, everything seemed to have held really well. It is a little bit more comforting for some reason that it's daytime, being able to see everything. I also came up to check the mooring lines, and that's what I was talking about. You can kind of see it a little bit more clearly in the daytime, but one of the mooring lines had totally worn through the outer layer, and it's chafing real bad. So last night I put on this other line right here, the white and red one, just as the safety. The rain's picking back up again, but whew. Oh, there's the wind. You can see the wind right there coming across. Oh boy. Woo! Oh, it's hitting hard. Ow, that actually like hurts. It hurts the face. Oh boy. Oh my. Woo! Yep. Well, it's a nice, I saw some lightning. It's a nice little shower. But, yeah, Ernesto is still here. It's not over yet, but I'm at least glad that it's daytime. And tell you what, the boat, oh boy. Ah! The boat got a really good shower. Oh. Woo. Oh wow, look at that. That's crazy. Oh, that's the thing. Ah! Alright, well, I'm gonna get out of this, but yeah, this is what it's like right now. An update. Still wet, still windy.
Thought I popped my head up. It's also a nice little shower.
Well, all right. So finally looks like storm has mostly passed over according to the radar. The big bands have started to go northwest of here towards Puerto Rico. Apparently it turned into a Category 1 hurricane kind of in the tail end of last night when it was hitting us down in there, here in the Virgin Islands. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. It's still a little windy. The main part that has stressed me out about the mooring breaking, or about the mooring lines breaking, is past. So right now it's kind of just holding out, waiting until this all fully dies down. Everything on here stayed on. All the canvas, the mast, everything stayed on pretty good. Yeah, everything held really well. I'm really happy about it. Still not completely over yet, but it'll calm down later this afternoon, going into tomorrow. The main part of the hurricane is past. Pretty stoked on that. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing what it was like to being inside of a hurricane on a boat. It's quite an experience. Definitely stressful. The raw power of Mother Nature. It's really, really intense, but it's cool to see. You don't get opportunities like that very often, and I'm glad everyone else seems to be doing okay. Hope you all enjoyed the ride. For now, it's time to chill, decompress a little bit, get some sleep, and thanks for watching.